Hello, this is Annie. This might seem like a bit of a random speed build all of a sudden, but I made a renovation of the Lotbin Park Planetary Pet Park. And well, the reason why I decided to do this is because I wanted to place this park into Pleasantview. It was an idea that I got after playing and editing my last Dreamer family Let's Play video, when Bo Newbie and Leroy, the Rottweiler dog, walked past and got invited into the home and played around with the puppy, who then aged up into dog. And they started to play with each other, and I sort of just realized how nice it was for the dogs to be friends, even though they don't belong to the same family. And I haven't played around with that ever, I think. I've only just had pets in the family's homes and like bred them and had them in their families, but I've never tried out to like put in a community lot like this that's specifically for pets. And I was really curious how I could make it work, how I could use the tools in game to make the hood more accessible for dog owners. I know that I could technically send them out on walks, but that's sort of just like a rabbit hole. The Sims leave the lot with the dog and then they're gone for a bit and then they're back again and then the dog has been out on a walk. But having an actual dog park like this would enable me to just actually bring them out physically and meet up with other dogs in the park like this. And I really liked that idea the more I started to think about it. And I decided to make a renovation of this lot, which I've never used before in the past either. So the layout was a little bit funky, I have to admit, when I started to look at it. But I soon realized that the different encased areas could easily be opened up and utilized as an open field or something for the dogs to run around and play around in. And that is what I did to the left side of the lot, whereas to the right side I maintained practically everything as it was from the start. I still wanted it to look like the park did from the start, with like the building in the middle, and I also wanted to maintain sort of the space theme that it had, even if it's not even closely to the same amount of space theme that it was. But I did keep, for example, the lights. I think the most important space-like feature that I kept was the house in the middle, actually, and I kept it practically the same looking, even though I changed out the style of it quite a bit, I think. And this encased area I actually kept as a hangout spot for, you know, eating, grilling, hanging out away from the dogs. My idea was that they should be able to like close the gates and eat alone, whereas the dogs could play around away from the very tantalizing hot dogs, no doubt. But yeah, so that was still there. And I actually decided to put in these little bushes at the entrance that I think they're called topiaries or something like that. And the style of that being lined up at the entrance was actually something that I got a bit inspired from playing Roller Coaster Tycoon as a kid. You know, the old OG game, like the first one. I think we were gifted that game in a cereal box or something when I was a kid. And the first park that you play in when you start that game actually has like lines of topiary when you come into the park. So that was sort of what I was for some reason thinking of when I put them there. And looking into this building with the bathrooms, it actually didn't look that bad. I just recolored the bathroom stalls and otherwise mostly kept everything the way it looked actually. I just remade how it looked on the outside, and those fences actually also looked pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen them used in any builds before, and I haven't used them myself either, but for some reason they looked really good in this build. Same thing with those columns with the little moon shapes sticking out. They actually looked really cool, so yeah, I kept them. I think they suited this build fairly well. And of course, littering the pond with lots of plants. And I tried putting in cattails and then went, nope, those don't suit at all. And I suppose that makes sense with it being a dog park, not a cat park, after all. So those were kept out. But this side of the park was actually what I was the most excited about, because I found out that there are these amazing custom content items converted from pet stories. And that is an agility course that's actually functional. So the pets can actually use those items, be trained in agility, and I mean, it's so cool. You'll have to check out my next Let's Play video to see exactly what they look like if you don't want to download them yourself and use them, of course. I'll leave a link to them in the description below in case you do want to try them out. I really do recommend them because they are epic. They really enhance the game if you like playing with pets. I can really recommend them. So yeah, this is what it turned out looking like, and I'm really excited to try this out. Try to bring in the dogs more into my gameplay and actually do a little bit similar to how I do with my community lot for workplaces and the schools, that the dogs can actually hang out and make friends somewhere that makes sense. And I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. And I actually really like how this turned out in looks as well. I think it's gonna be a really cozy park to go visit with my Sims. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Take care. Bye.